Let's welcome to Football Daft a man who won 2 league titles and a League Cup with Rangers. You're no nonsense central midfielder or centre half. He also played for the likes of Derby, Motherwell and Brisbane Roar. Please welcome back to the show the first ever guest to come on twice, current Kelty Hearts assistant, Bob Malcolm. Bob, how you doing?
Not bad, mate, not bad. Why did you miss out the Scottish Cup there?
Well, I never wrote it. It's John. He's fucking stupid. He doesn't. He's
probably beat Falkirk in the final or something like that, and he didn't want to admit to it.
Why did you miss out the? Why did you miss out the treble? One in the treble.
I know.
Would you want me to do it again then?
No, I don't want you to do it again.
Right, you're choking. You're desperate to say that to me because you said it on WhatsApp last night. What is it? I could probably end up doing with my chin.
Oh, your face.
You said something like my chin's getting that big. I could probably put it on my face and use it as a face mask or something like that. Anyway, you cheeky bastard, what's happening? You're sitting in the booze and you get day off for the van today. Is it day off?
Mate, just a wee break, mate. A wee break.
All right. Is that a couple of non-alcohol pops?
It's a wee iron brew extra.
All right.
Yeah, Bob, since the last time you were on, mate, obviously you got the van and all that. Have you upgraded and got some flumps in your van now?
I have, mate. I've actually got pound bags of flumps now. So man, I've upgraded. Took your advice, wee man, and upgraded.
Yeah, what's actually, because this is what I wanted to find out, right? How does it work with vans during this lockdown, Kieran? Are you still able to go? Because I shifted down to Ardrossan when I started this lockdown. Started and there's no van there. I've not been to a van in about 7 or 8 months. There's our protocols and stuff like that. Talk us through the process.
Aye, well, obviously the van in Ardrossan selling hash and stuff like that, so maybe that's why I'm still doing it.
Council solid.
Allegedly. These are not the views of Football Daft.
10 pence mixture and a fucking bag of Council solid.
Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know what the rules are. Obviously, there's food and that on, like pasta and noodles and that, so it gets on about the older ones that can't get to the shops.
Yeah, man, hold on, Bob. You've upgraded there, because the last time we were talking to you, all you said was hot dogs. So you've got fucking pasta and noodles and shit like that now?
Aye, what noodles today? You man, you don't know what you're missing.
Is that right? So have you got a thing on the van that's just always got constant hot water and you can just make folk pot noodles and stuff like that?
Yep.
What's you sell a pot noodle for?
$1.20 the price it.
That's all right. And what, you give the hot water for free and stuff like that, aye?
Aye, well, I get it from that, and so I'll get it from that now. Fuck's sake. Should you have to pay for that down in fucking Ardrossan of every
Fucking Bob Malcolm's a socialist, amazing.
Bob, what's happening with Kelty? What's going on there, man?
Oh, we had our first game last night, St Johnstone in the Cup. The boys done well. That's the first competitive game of the season. Obviously they've been playing for, I think they've 10 competitive games now, so just getting back into the way of things. Obviously everything's still strange and raw for all the pandemic things, but it was good to get back and back playing competitive again.
Touching on that, Bob, the last time that you were on, you were coasting it, weren't you? You were doing really well, and then you get it kind of fucking ripped away for you because of the COVID. That must have been a kick in your balls, mate.
It was at the time, obviously. I think Barry's obviously said it as well, but we didn't want to win the league that way. But at the end of the day, we got fuck all out of it. We won the league, but you get nothing for it. There was no chance of promotion, so it was a league for no reason. So just basically cancelled the league, and that was it. But they handed it over. So listen, the club are happy with it. They've only been in the lower league for a couple of years now, and they've won the league. So it's a sour taste of it happened.
How's the club been, like, obviously through the whole pandemic? Was there any chance, at any point, you thought the club wasn't going to make it through the pandemic and all that? Is everything all right in the background with the club?
Aye, everything's all right, mate. Obviously, like any other club at your sort of level, incomes with people coming through the gate and obviously the bars and stuff, which we've not been getting. But the club, they do everything right. They've obviously with the furlough stuff, the players are still getting sorted out. So that's not been a problem. Obviously, if it keeps on going the way it's going, then we don't know what it's going to be like maybe 2 or 3 months down the line. So we're in the same boat as everybody else, mate, apart from the Premier League teams.
What do you think about your partner in crime, your tag team partner, Barry? He's made the move to Go Radio as a weeknightly radio host. Is it something you've ever thought about doing yourself, Bob, getting into the media?
No, mate, that's...
You can just tell now that he's sitting there wanting to be anywhere else in the world. So imagine.
and Grado was asking it like a guy who thinks a lot of himself in the media, swinging on his chair. What do you think, Bob?
Try to plug his in radio show, isn't he?
Aye.
Fucking Go Radio. You don't even get it on the channel in the fucking motor.
You do. You just can't fucking tune it in right. It's D.
What number is it?
It's not got a number. It's DAB. You go into DAB and you look for
Fuck
Go
off,
Radio.
Grado. You need a fucking Lamborghini to have one of them in your motor.
No, you
I
don't.
don't want him, man. What?
Right, Grado, ask Bob something that you've always wanted to ask him.
Right, what I've always wanted to ask you. Tell me about your first ever Old Firm game. And where was it? What was it like? Tell me, because obviously you were a Rangers fan all your days, big Rangers supporting family and stuff like that. Tell me about like the night before, the day of. What was that like? And have you ever been G'd up for a game as much as what it was like when you played in Old Firms?
Well, the night before we were in the hotel, under Dick Advocate we stayed in the hotel in East Kilbride, and basically didn't have a clue that I was playing, didn't have any inkling, didn't think I would be playing. But I was in the squad, obviously delighted to be in my first Old Firm squad. And then it was actually my dad that phoned me and said to me, "Are you playing tomorrow?" And I said, "I think so, no." And he's like, I spoke to like one of the guys that goes to against Big Andy Smiley. He'd spoke to him, and I was like, "Well, how the fuck does he know?" So obviously Dick must have said to somebody, and it's ended up getting back. So I don't know if that got out, but Dick Advocate ended up pulling me that night and saying to me, "Look, you'll be playing tomorrow, so get your mind on it and stuff." Then obviously I didn't fucking sleep much because I was up shitting myself. It was a semi-final of I think it was a League Cup at Hampden. So that was my first Old Firm game.
Was that the Conterman game?
No. It was You know what game it was, you wee shite?
Tell me again, Bob. Tell me what game was it?
No, that was the one with Larson pushed me and I fell, remember?
I'm only joking, mate. I remember I was actually at that game.
Here, I've always wanted to know, Bob, has your ice cream van ever been involved in a road traffic accident and you've not been at fault?
Fuck's sake, who are you plugging now?
G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with complete accident management support that you require. Now, Bob, if your ice cream van is involved in an accident, what G4 Claims will do is they're going to recover their costs from the at-fault party. They'll sort you out for a like-for-like vehicle replacement. I can't confirm if it will have a boiling water system, but I'm sure they'll try their best so you can provide the pot noodles to the people of Glasgow. They're also going to organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. So hopefully you'll be back in the streets as soon as possible. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they're going to recover the pre-accident value for you and your ice cream van and write you a big fat cheque for it. And best of all, Bob, it's not going to cost you a penny, as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. Bob, let me tell you what G4 Claims. They don't cold call. They don't buy data. And once I've processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there, they won't take on your case if they don't think they can help. So, Bob, and anybody else that's listening, any other ice cream vans, any other vehicles that are on the road, if you are struggling with a road traffic accident you've been involved in, or you know somebody that has, get onto G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notатfaultclaim.com or find them on social media. G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, Not at Fault Claims.
Made easy.
Made easy.
Made easy.
Oh, sorry you had to be part of that there, mate. He just flung that on you, didn't he? Sorry, mate.
Aye. Never again.
If your ice cream van is in an accident, do you know what I mean? G4 Claims are good people to phone, mate.
Aye.
So, Bob, you went to Australia for a wee while, didn't you, to play for Brisbane?
I did, yes.
What was that like? Was it amazing?
It was unbelievable. Wasn't what I expected. Fuck's sake, Grado, man. Stop giving my secrets up.
What was that?
We were steaming most of the time, aye.
You've told me stories.
Is Charlie Ball and Craig Mill play for them as well?
Aye, and I don't know if you remember we Danny Teattle.
Oh, aye.
Well, that was the four that travelled in the car, so it was eventful. It was.
Craig Mill was actually. Craig Mill's been in the news quite a bit recently. He was over.
He's still here. I was with him this morning. He's still here.
What was you with him this morning? How's he getting on?
He's doing all right. He's doing all right.
When did he come here? I didn't even know that was allowed. He was allowed to travel and all that.
No, he's for his work. He works as a agent or a player, whatever, representative. So he's allowed to travel for work.
Is that the same with Amoruso? Because I seen him at the Football at the weekend on the telly, and I was wondering as well, was that his game?
Is he here? I thought he was on fucking Love Island or something that big.
That's right.
He was on the Italian Love Island, man.
Honestly, man. He was, that's right, aye.
Big chance he got. I probably got fucked in the first round.
The first round.
Listen, Grado, guys like me and Bob don't know how fucking Love Island works, mate, alright?
Listen, Love Island, I think the last couple of series are on Netflix. Get involved, mate. It's addictive. It's really good.
Turn that up, man.
Bob, you watch it, Chelsea, Bob, you don't know you're shaking your head at. You watch it too, we talk about it.
I sat next to Big Ammo for about 3 years, and trust me, I do not want to fucking see him on Love Island.
Right, so you went down to England and all. You played for Derby, and you played one game in the Premier League. How did that work out for you?
Well, not too good, because you get pumped and then I never played again. No, we played.
It was Liverpool, wasn't it?
It was Liverpool when they were dead. Well, fucking not as good as what they are now, but some team they had at that time. And they scalped us, to be fair.
Was it Gaffer playing for them at that time? Was Gerrard playing?
He was, but he wasn't playing that game. It was only Alonso and Mascherano played in that game.
Was that all?
That's all.
Bob, where were you playing? Were you playing centre mid or centre half?
Yeah, centre mid.
Against A2?
Against A2, aye. And they had Torres. Torres was up front.
Jesus, man.
See, you're talking there about coming up against a Liverpool team. Who is the toughest player you've ever played against? Where you've finished the game 90 minutes, went fuck, never again, man.
Toughest? You mean as in like?
Aye, like.
Who was the best player and the hardest player to play against?
Aye.
Probably Mascherano, because he never gave you a minute's peace. Even though they were battling us, they still, every time you got the ball, you felt as if you never had a pass on or whatever. I think they played the Inter Milan game with the Champions League. They were decent. Adriano and Obafemi Martins.
Adriano, remember him? He was just he was like a pit bull, man.
So there's been a few, but Larsson's up there as well. He was the same, wouldn't give you a minute's peace. Stan Petrov's the same.
Where did you prefer playing, centre mid or centre half?
I didn't bother, Bob, to be honest. I played I remember playing left back against Ross County one day. But I was just happy if I was getting a game, I played anyway.
That's a game, do you know what I mean? There's not enough players like that. Fucking, as long as they're playing a game. That's it, man. That's proper mentality.
See, to be honest, the game's changed so much. See once you get Scott Brown, once he goes, the older generation's gone. And I don't know how long it's going to be until that would come back, because the game's totally different now.
And the players have changed as well, the mentality of the young players and stuff like that. Are you the agreement that it's I'm not saying that it's soft, but you've got to watch what you're saying a lot of the time with the young players these days, innit? And you'll probably know that, because obviously you and Barry are big characters, man. You're dealing with young players that are no used to the rough and tumble and getting told off and having words in their ears. You've got to probably watch what you're saying to them.
You do, mate, you do, but there comes a point where if you keep on saying the same thing to them all the time, then they're obviously not taking it on board. So sometimes you have to have a go at them. I think it's the way you come across to them. If you come across over the top, then they can fuck you off and no That's the reality. If you go over the top with them, then if it's for talking sake, if you've got a player that's a big character in the dressing room, you have a go at them, they've got the power then to go and pick 3 or 4 of their mates and then down the down tools.
Aye.
That's how
and
you
then
see.
you've got a big problem then, haven't you, mate?
You have. And then that's when it spreads through the dressing room. And you see teams, that's why teams have a great season one season, then the next season they're struggling to stay in the league because the dressing room changes. The manager brings in new players. The player that might have been doing well the last season doesn't get a game. And then it spreads through the team. The thing is up here though, it's not the same up here as what it is in England. You've got kids in England who, we were talking about it this morning, there's guys that are playing in the Chelsea team, they're not playing in the Chelsea team, but they're going on loan to a team in Germany, a team in Holland, and they're on crazy money. And then they go, one of the boys, for example, I'm not saying his name, but he's just went and he's signed for Bristol City, either there recently or else a couple of months ago, and he's having to take a wage cut. And he's never played a first team game for Chelsea. So how does that work? It's just crazy. Do you know what I mean? He's going to play in a first team. He's having to take and it's not just as if it's like £1,000 or £2,000. It's a lot of money that he's taking per week as a pay cut. So it's crazy the money that they can throw at it. And that's why players don't give a shit if you're getting £100,000 a week and not playing. Are you going to bother?
And that's what I've always wondered as well. A lot of these young
That's
players.
how things like, I don't know, like Rangers being linked with Jack Wilshere, right? A player like him, as an example, if at a very young age, he's been earning top coin, hasn't he? So you then question his hunger for the game or his desire to even prove himself anywhere, because he's 28 now, he's still got a lot of football left to play if he can keep fit, but has he wanted it? Do you know what I mean? Has he got the hunger anywhere? Do you know what I mean? Like, the money
he's come out and had a statement saying that he's been fit for 8 months or a year, and he's just David Moyes never fancied him. That's the way things go. But if the manager doesn't fancy him, doesn't play, then there's not really much you can do about it. You can only try and prove yourself in training to get back in his thoughts. But
would you take him at Rangers then?
If he's been fit for the last 8 months, then I think anybody that would get him would be lucky. But you don't have to go out as in who's going to take that chance that he could come up, you give him big money and then he falls down breaks down after a week. I think there would need to be some sort of structure in place that I don't know if it had the pay as you play. I don't know if I've never really heard any players been on that sort of deal, but maybe he would go for it because he's been injured for a certain amount of years or whatever. But listen, the boy doesn't need the money, so
exactly.
If he wants to just get back to football, then why not?
It's a great opportunity for him. What do you think this season, Bob? How do you think the team's been playing? What do you think? Have you seen much of Rangers playing this season?
I have. I've seen a few games. It's the usual, mate. It's a good 1 week. Then obviously the Livingston game, they were only great. Then they go and play in Europe and they're brilliant. And then they come back to play. Who was it? A couple of weeks ago. Ross County. Well, why that was last week, innit? Rubbish. But listen, I understand because I've been involved in that sort of thing myself. When you go away, the highs of the European games, then you come back to play one of the teams that are going to be fighting at the bottom of the league. They're hard enough to play at the best of times, but coming back to a European games a wee bit. You see Celtic as well. They've been struggling. They struggled on Sunday against St Johnstone, and then also the 2 changes get them the win. So it's just it's the way it is. It's hard to go for a high to then coming back playing against one of the bottom teams.
Who was the highlight your Motherwell career, Bob? Quite Terry Sharp in the back then.
I think probably it was sad at the time. Obviously, Phil O'Donnell passed away. And,
that's right, you were there, weren't you?
Well, I wasn't there at the time. I came and Phil O'Donnell, he'd passed away, and then I came just after that. But for the squad to get over that, what happened, and then push and get to play in Europe the following season was incredible for me. Because don't forget that there's a lot of young boys. Paul Quinn, David Clarkson, who was followed his nephew, Stevie Hamill, all these lads who were still only early mid-20s, felt it because they grew up with Phil. Phil was one of their pals and a mentor to most of them. So for them to overcome that and push on, and I think we finished third that season. I think it was the last game of the season, the last home game we played against Aberdeen, and normally you only ever see Motherwell Stadium full when they first come. But the chairman at the time, John Menzies, you'd think he was charging, it was a £5 for a ticket or something, and it was us against Aberdeen. I think whoever won that game finished third and went to Europe, and I think we ended up winning, I think it was 2-0. But the atmosphere was unbelievable, see, because the stadium was full. And I'm thinking, why is this not happening all the time?
Aye.
But it's obviously it's no fair on the season bookholders who go and pay the full price, and then you can't charge somebody a £5. But what if the seats are sitting empty? Why not get them to school kids? Get people back in the grounds.
It's funny you say that. I remember that season, right? Because you played Queen's Park in the Scottish Cup, and we all went to see my mate because Ricky Litt was playing for Queen's Park, and my mate.
Ricky Little, your mate, Grado?
Ricky Little gets mentioned every fucking week on this show, man. He's the new Gary Polini.
He's the new Gary Polini, he is.
Right, drop it. Anyway, what I'm saying
conversation,
is...
because my mate, Ricky Little, he was playing.
Right. Arbroath star Ricky Little, we all went to watch him, and my mate had a snidey £20 note, and he gave it to, it was a £5 again, so he get fucking £15 in change back with real money.
That's absolutely built to that story, mate. That's a fucking built to that story, man.
See, to be fair, I thought there was something coming with G4 there. He gave your money back because it was snide money.
If you've ever been given some
sort of plug.
But I do remember that season because that game was a £5 too, so it was.
Aye.
I bet you never paid
what was it like, team you played with Motherwell? What was it like facing Rangers? How did that make you?
That's a good question, Bob.
It was brilliant. I can remember the first game at Ibrox. Obviously, you get comps. The players get comps for the games. So I was like to my dad, right, I've got a couple of comps. He's like, I'm not gone. What do you mean you're not gone? He's like, I'm not gone because you'll just get pebbles. I'm like, fucking shut up and grow up, man. He's like, I'm not gone. He never went, so my mum ended up going with my uncle. And it was a game, it was a time when Rangers were gone for they got to the Europa League final.
Aye.
So there was game after game after game, and they were struggling, to be fair. We should have been probably a couple of goals up at half time, but it ended up nothing each at half time, and we were all over them. And I can remember having a wee spat with Kurt Broadfoot on the touchline, just around about the halfway line at the Govan.
Aye.
And so I'm having a wee ding dong, and all the fans aren't saying much, but then I just hear this guy shouting, "How the fuck did you not do that for us, Malcolm?" I was like, "You fucking having a laugh?" But it was good, but it was good. It was just because it was just one guy who just stood up and everyone was quiet. But
you must have felt surreal, but when against Rangers, because you were just obviously Rangers what you've always known, mate. You know what I mean?
Aye. No, it was actually funny because later on that night we get beat 1-0 and Rangers scored like halfway through the second half, but we blew a gasket. We ran out of energy and stuff, and I can remember going to one up after it for a couple of drinks. It was a midweek game, it was a Tuesday or Wednesday night, so we went in for a couple of drinks into one up, and Neil Lennon was sitting there, and I don't know if he was having a laugh at me or a joke, whatever, but he said to me, "Cheers for throwing that game in." And I'm like, "You fucking mind us up?" And me and him ended up having an argument at the bar just through something stupid. And I'm like, "Fucking hell, what's happening here?" But it's one of the that's just what you get back in the day. It was a laugh,
having a fight with Neil Lennon at the bar, and somebody from the other side of the bar shouts, "How did you not do that? You played for us, Malcolm."
That wasn't a fight, it was just a wee argument.
Can you beat him in a fight, Bob?
The what?
Can you beat him in a fight?
No doubt.
Oh, hey, what we were saying, because that'll end up in the fucking sun or something.
Aye,
Sorry, watch that. You know,
I asked you that one.
I beat Neil Lennon up in the pub and all that. We'll get fucking twisted. Do you miss your he is a good guy, by the way. He is a good guy. We spoke about this before.
Don't worry, you don't need to cover yourself.
No, swear to God. Because what I've noticed when you go to Neil Lennon, you have a banter with him, and it's just, do you know what I mean? It's just what you would do with your pals. It's support the other team, to be honest with you. But are you missing? What I want to know is, are you missing these wee kind of charity games and that, Bob, catching up with your like your Andy Gorhams and that? Do you miss them?
I miss catching up with the boys. I don't miss running about for the 90 minutes right enough, but I miss the banter in the changing room. It's always a good laugh.
Aye.
No, when you're playing right enough because you're fucking shit. But
I know, and it's intimidating you because you take it too serious in my opinion. As I say, I'm there to.
That's it.
You say that for every football game. Aye.
What about the time he was throwing goal, remember he tripped to his own shoelace or something?
He fell at his left foot.
Fell at his chin.
That was horrible. That was fucking horrible, man.
It was when I played for you right through. It opened up like the fucking Red Sea and you right through and go and fell at your fucking...
The boys letting him try to give him a chance at shoot goal and he's fucking answer.
And it's not as if it was at one of the games.
That's what you get for playing with a pair of Adidas Sambas on.
The best it wasn't it one of the fucking games at Darvel or fucking Muircock, it was at Ibrox. Devastated.
You can say you scored a goal at Ibrox, mate. You know what I mean?
I know I can, but well, it's good footage on it. Anyway, we're going to our questions.
Aye. Right, Bob, as you know, you've been on the show before. We did put our guest football knowledge to the test with a 90-second quiz, and since the last time you were on, we've got a new leader on the board. It's John Sutton. He's on 15. We've got Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind him. No, he's not. Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind him with 14. The good Dr. Kenny Duker and Kevin Harper on 13. And at the bottom is the strongest man in Scottish football, Falkirk manager David McCracken. He's still at the bottom, and I think he'll always be at the bottom of this league with one. Right?
One? Fuck's sake.
Get one, right? So
I just need to beat one.
No, the last time you done it, you get 6.
Aye, that's because you were asking me shit questions.
Aye, but listen, you've got a chance to redeem yourself now, my man.
Aye.
You got a chance to redeem yourself.
You ready to ask the questions, Chris?
I'm ready to ask these motherfucking questions, bro. Right, you ready, Bob?
I'm ready, mate.
You got enough quiet in there?
I can hear you.
Enough quiet. Excuse me, I'm doing a quiz.
Sorry, I had loads of alarms to line.
Alarms to line.
First question, your time starts now. Who are the other 2 teams in Scotland's Nation League group? Israel and the Czech Republic.
You've read the answers, you motherfucker.
Israel and the Czech Republic.
Right, start again. I apologise.
Fuck's sake, Paul.
Alongside Israel, who is the other team in Scotland's National League group? What Highland League team's second name is Mechanics?
Fours.
Aston Villa have just signed which midfielder from Chelsea?
Ross Bartley.
What year were you caretaker manager at Clyde?
2014.
Who is Wales' all-time leading scorer?
Ian Rush.
Dick Campbell is the manager of which team? The Buffs are the nickname of which junior side?
Co-winning Rangers.
What was the score in your only English Premier League appearance?
4-0.
Who is Celtic's most expensive signing?
Edward.
What club did St Mirren sign Kyle McGuinness? Sorry, which club did St Mirren's Kyle McGuinness join?
Hibs.
Who scored Manchester United's only goal in their 6-1 defeat to Spurs?
Don't know.
What's a flump?
Marshmallow.
Rangers midfielder Bongani Zungu has joined them on loan from which French club?
Amiens.
Which team's ground was once famously located next to a toffee factory?
Fuck knows.
Ray McKinnon is the current manager of which Scottish team?
Queen's Park.
How many goals did you score for Rangers?
3.
What was your win percentage as Clyde manager?
Oh, you done well there, Bob. Done well, mate.
You can answer that last one if you want, mate.
Win percentage when at Clyde?
Aye.
65%.
Right, okay. Okay, Bob.
So, right, something at the door, 2 seconds.
John, how did I think you done pretty well there, mate, to be honest with you.
Right, we'll go through the wrong answers, Bob. Caretaker manager at Clyde 27.
2017, was it?
2017, aye. Gareth Bale's the Welsh all-time leading scorer. Now I've got this written down as Liverpool beat you 6-0, Bob. Was it, you think it was 4-0?
I must have just got took off at 4-0.
Bruno Fernandes scored Man United's only goal in their 6-1 defeat. We always have a Stennis Muir question in the quiz, and that's the team whose ground was once famously located next to a toffee factory. Aside from that, mate, you got everything correct. I think you're on level with Barry. I think you've got 12.
Oh,
yes.
There you go. Mate, do you know what I love about how we do these quizzes, right, and all that, and it's like folk get dead nervous, and it's all folk like, oh, I can't think and all that. The question he just goes, fuck knows.
Bob, thanks again, mate. We'll probably get you over a hat trick at some point, my man, right?
Right.
No worries.
Bob, I'm really sorry that Grado was a fucking tit and made you wait for an hour and a half, mate.
I know.
Fucking it was Chelsea Bob's fault.
How was it my fault?
Fuck, it was my fault. Sorry, apologies.
Great, I hope you go over that bout at elephantitis soon, mate, right? Keep up the chins.
Come on. Cheers,
Good
bud.
man.
Aye,
See you later,
man.
Cheers, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
See you later.
Audio Frontier.